Hello everyone, welcome to the ESL 1 Battlefield 4 Seasonal Cup #1. It's actually the second day of it. Pansy was covering it yesterday doing the, pretty much a majority of the bracket. I'll be doing both semifinals for you today as well as the grand finals, but I'm not alone here actually. It might look like it, but I'm actually joined by a man, a mystery. Hopefully his mic is on.
His mic is indeed on, don't worry.
It is on. Okay, so now now I don't even know if the audio is going to be leveled correctly because, you know what, just things get changed so often around here. But let's go ahead and show you if I know the right button. Yes, I do. Hey, Lord, didn't change things around too much. The brackets for today. First game of the day will actually be Meet Your Makers up against Epsilon. As you can see on your screen, Meet Your Makers picking up not an easy way through, but 2-0, 2-1. And then, of course, Epsilon picking up a 2-0, a 2-0 over someone's team out there. Dogbert.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I thought you were having a go at me, and suddenly realised, yeah, okay, they're in transition right now. But
in transition, quote unquote.
Yeah, 2 new players. So.
All right, and then over on this side we have Fnatic versus Pyrogen coming up as well. Fnatic getting two 2-0 wins, and Pyrogen actually having some really close games. But I believe we are ready and almost underway into the game. So let me just go ahead and take us straight there. Hopefully, people in chat can let me know if the audio levels are good enough, because I honestly cannot tell, but I'm going to drop you into game if I know which button it is. No, I was wrong. It's that one. Okay, so we are in a game here. It's going to be on Paracel Storm. The second map will be on Zavod, and third, if we do need it, will be over on Locker here. Dogbert, why don't you give us a quick rundown here of what you saw from Meet Your Makers and Epsilon yesterday, since you did cast quite a few of their games. Not cast quite a few, but at least watch.
I got to see MYM's game, and Paracel Storm, a map that they do very, very well on. They kind of bumbled it a bit, but then they absolutely smashed them on the second round, so they did very well there. But I think they've actually gone live here.
Yep.
And it started off quite weird. Epsilon took B and A straight off the bat, took quite a good lead, but MYM somehow managing to fight back, getting B and A and getting a full domination cap quite early. The game is kind of leveled out again now with Epsilon taking the houses, but MYM came back quite from adversity here, but a domination cap could happen right now as Epsilon, Duke PT and his new name, up at C. This is looking really bad for MYM straight away.
Oh yeah, speaking of Epsilon here, let's go over both lines for you guys at home since we do have that domination cap coming in. We have Asterix, David 2K, Shocks, Horic, and Marsu. Over on the side of Meet Your Makers, we have Punchul, Duckinator, S8F, or Safe, Flax, and Waffy here. Just like you're saying, that tri-cap is coming in. They're getting a full domination cap here, and Meet Your Makers, you know, well, I want to say, coming into this, they're the team to beat, considering that they won the first, whole season of this thing, the whole shebang, coming out huge after having a really unfortunate entire season after the beginning, since that was their, high point. But they're not looking too good here, I have to say.
Yeah, but it's a weird one, because on this map, they did so well against Epsilon at the LAN final, and I think they might have got a bit complacent on their strategies here, or more importantly, Epsilon and other teams have just cracked out what they're doing. They've had plenty of footage to look at, and I think that's what they've done, because a lot of the pushes that MYM always go to when they're in trouble on this map was shut down quite early on by Epsilon. But right now, it does seem to be going back MYM's way.
This is what we kind of saw within, I want to say, the beginning of Battlefield 4 when we started doing these cups here at ESL, is that the teams, Meet Your Makers, Fnatic, Dignitas, they got an early start to it. They were ready. They were ahead of the curve. But then now, every team is catching up here. Every team is putting in the practice, put in the hours, and really catching on to things here. And we're seeing, teams like Epsilon, or pretty much any team, come into this. I think it was Infused yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, really start to step up and challenge the big dogs here. So right now, Epsilon do have a slight lead here, 111 to 94 ticket advantage. And they're looking to close it out a little bit further here. As you can see, Punchroll 5-4, 5-5 now, not the strongest of games. Actually, the only person who's really performing well here is Marsu, currently over on Epsilon's side.
Yeah, Marsu coming in from the old UMAV team along with Asterix, and they've given new blood really to Epsilon, and with those two players, they're a much stronger team than they used to be, and a really, really dominant force if they get to land.
I just wanted to say, I think that was Shocks, who's actually using an M16A4, and obviously we had a couple of changes come around on our rule set this time. The Scar H and the Ace 52 are banned out, as requested by the community here, but we did see a lot of, I think it was, what game was it, ACW? ACWR yesterday, quite a few of them. I was watching, the Kali Pansy obviously cast the first part of this bracket here, but we're seeing some new guns come into light here. And what's your thoughts on that really quickly about the Scar H being taken away?
Scar H and the A62 really been taken away because of how powerful from hip and more likely for one-shots and that really came into it. And the community really thought that it added too much randomness to gunfights that they didn't like. So yeah, it's been taken out. Pretty unanimous vote. But it has opened up for new weapons like the M16A4, which is more of a burst fire, but more of a railgun, and really adds a kind of dimension. But this is my mid to long range weapon, but not really close up, where before you could pretty much use anything and be safe in all three positions.
All right, well, right now, Mutual Makers, they have been able to cap over onto B again here. But what's really dangerous is that they seem to be playing the reactionary role. They're pretty much responding to exactly what Epsilon does here. They try to go in for a rotate towards A, which looks like they're trying to go for right now. And then they get, Epsilon pushing in through the backside of C towards B here. So they keep getting capped in circles right now. But we do have one man, Marsu and David 2K, now pushing in from the southwest side of B here. And there's only 2 or 3 men, in these buildings for the defend against. They're not even looking in the right direction at the moment. They're looking towards A here.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really dangerous on this map. So you can't lock down these buildings quite early on. It starts to get out of control. You can see that MYM are doing what they can to kind of just get these flags under control. They've got the buildings now, but that lead from Epsilon might not seem quite significant. But when you've got the bleed like this already, it's just a pitfall if the team tries to come forward too quickly. They just get cut to pieces.
Yeah, they really are, and currently 92 to 37 ticket difference is currently happening here, and Epsilon looking strong here. And what's kind of funny is that in the cut number 1 of the first season that we had kick off, maybe it was the winter season, Mutual Makers made it all the way into the grand finals where they played against Fnatic, actually, funny enough, who. Well, we just have a chance for that potential rematch to come in here, but right now, Mutual Makers, they start off on a high note last season, and then pretty much went downhill from there. I wonder if the same thing will happen for them this time, or maybe they're going to be able to turn some things around here. But now, we see a 2-3 man push coming in back towards B here, and Horik already set up perfectly inside of these buildings, waiting for 1 or 2 men from Mutual Makers to push in towards this B flag, and they'll be ready to counter this if they do go.
Yeah, you see the Marsu holding down this building near the AC building. If he gets taken out, then that B flag is going to switch over to MYM quite quickly. But you can see MYM know how far behind they are, and they're going for full domination caps, because that's the only way they're going to get back in this game. And this is a dangerous strategy, but if they pull it off right now, they might be able to salvage this round. But it all comes down to individual 1v1s, and they're starting to go Epsilon's way.
And right now it's up to Flax here, sitting inside of that building, looking for a couple of men to kill off. It does get flanked around from the side, it looked like for a second there, but we'll be able to run away. We'll be able to get some respawns on top of them. They do have the full domination cap happening right now, but now B's being attacked here as he gets picked up from the side. Waffy gonna go down as well. That's 2 kills for David. And we'll Astrix pick up 1 as well here. So that full dom cap, unfortunately not gonna work out too well, as they pretty much get fully aced here, completely wiped out. And now Duck, the last man standing, he does get a couple of respawns in on top of him, trying to hold A, trying to contest it a little bit here, but then you just keep getting mowed down left and right. Now Shox 11-7, Marsu 12-2, hasn't even died ever since we mentioned him back when he was 8-2, and he's showing no sense of stopping. He's now 13-2.
Yeah, Marsu is a really, really good player. He kind of gets overshadowed a bit in the UMAV lineup, but now he's switched over to Epsilon. We're going to be seeing a lot more of this guy, and I think he's going to get the recognition that he kind of deserves. He gets it from the pros, but maybe not from the viewers as such. And there you go, Epsilon, 75 tickets. That's brutal.
That is a strong start coming in here for them. And, one thing, I actually have a question for you, since I'm not 100% sure on this, is that what happened to Mayek? Is he still on the Epsilon roster?
I believe he's still on the Epsilon roster, and without getting hate from the Epsilon guys, they'd rather keep a guy on the team than have to play against him in someone else's lineup. They keep him around, I feel, but really, the lineup you're seeing here is most likely the one they'll play with on LAN, and I think I was very critical of Epsilon going into that LAN final. I don't feel that they should be playing with someone who cannot go there, especially when they know that, and they should play with the same lineup from the start to the finish, and that's, I think, with this lineup here, is what you're going to see.
Yeah, it was actually really funny to me. Okay, that's not working. That button's not really happening. It was really funny to me to see that happen too, because we were wondering as well, like, why are they playing with him when unfortunately he can't play, and there's all these questions, whether he was legit or not and stuff like that. I'm obviously not going to go too much into that, but no, I like that decision by them. I think it's smart. I think it's definitely something that they need to do here, but right now it seems like it's not really affecting them too much, because currently they are winning this first map with a 75 map lead. 75 ticket lead. Sorry, 75 map lead would be a little bit too big.
Yeah, it would be. They did pick this map though. Like I said, I feel that maybe they've been doing their homework on it, and MYM yesterday did kind of struggle in their game, and I thought they would do a lot better on Paracel. They lost the first round. They did come back in big fashion. I think they were behind 70 tickets, and they did manage to win it. So it's not without... they've done this before, and they've done this literally yesterday, so maybe they can do it again, but they are playing against what I would say is probably the second or first best team in Battlefield right now.
All right, well, let's see how this one goes here. 13 seconds left to go on the countdown. Trying to weave in between their legs, but unfortunately I can't actually go through them with the camera. Now you can't see it, but you can imagine what I'm doing with my fancy camera work here. But the countdown, it will now be kicking off here, and Meat Makers on the Chinese side. We see Epsilon over on the US side. Meat Makers fighting against a 75 ticket deficit here. They have a large amount of tickets to really pull back here, and they really can't let anything slip early on as well, because that's going to be a huge lead. I mean, 75, if I can do my math correctly, that's half of 150.
Yeah, well, I'll leave you with the maths. I'll steer away for those on purpose. But yeah, this is a strong start from Epsilon. They're getting the B flag. They're harassing at A. Yeah, you've got Duke PT out at A, just kind of tying that flag down and keeping the defender there. And MYM are now against the clock, really. They got to push these flags.
Yeah, MYM almost got completely wiped out as well. I think Duckinator or maybe Puncher was the only man left standing after those initial pushes. Yeah, they got A, but losing out on 2 flags right away here. Remember that 75 tickets is at threshold. If we do see Meat Makers cross that, that will be it for them. That will be the first step going over to Epsilon here. We will be going into Zavod right after that, which is actually, to me, one of the most played maps here and one of my favorites. But Siege of Shanghai, I've actually been enjoying quite a bit lately ever since we had those changes come in. But either way, Hort, going to be spotting at Waffy right there. We'll actually get the 1-for-1 trade. And it is a tri-cap now coming in for Meat Makers. They've been able to pull this one back.
Yeah, a very slow push from them. Obviously a little bit of a setback at the beginning, but there's that 1v1, David 2K versus Safe. Literally the two masterminds of the team going head-to-head, and David getting it. But that A flag fight is still going on Duckinator and Asterix now. And that's just tying stuff down, but you can see Epsilon now pushing that B flag. They're also threatening A. This could swing disastrously wrong for MYM if they don't pick up a good kill here.
Yeah, that's one thing that's always confused me about tri-caps coming in, is why teams necessarily do it when you can just hold out on those 2 flags and be fine. You know, the tri-cap, there's the potential for it to be completely turned on its head against you. You can be tri-cap right back here, and we're seeing Epsilon picking up B, picking up C, getting some good holds. We have Safe, though, off to the west side of the map. What's your thoughts on this position? Because he has a prime spot to really make a lot of pain happen.
Yeah, indeed, but it all comes down to just timing and positioning. If they're rushing at you, then that position is going to really hurt them, but sometimes they just bypass you and you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs. But this is really nasty now. And when you were saying about people going for tri-caps, the reason is, but those few 1v1s going your way can basically end the game. I mean, the amount of tickets you could pull from it could just win it straight away. And
it's up to David right there. He actually pulls up the 1v1, looking for the second man. Will be able to pick up the kill as well here. He's able to hold on to C by himself from a 2-man push squad, and now there's going to be Waffy given his chance here. Might get the revive in as well. We'll spot the man out. We'll get the kill on David, and will potentially open up C. But they committed 4 people in total to there, and that means B. I wouldn't be surprised to see it actually contested right now out of Epsilon. They have the men to do it. They see that 1-man crossing over towards A, and I believe they did get the kill on the Puncher as well, so this is not looking good. Already had 100 tickets remaining. Yeah, they had the tri-cap, but that lasted, let's be honest, about 10 to 15 seconds before it eventually got turned around.
Yeah, Epsilon can just play a very, very aggressive game here. They don't need to win this in a pretty or impressive fashion. They just make it into a kind of grueling meat grinder of a fight because they've got such a lead from the previous round.
Yeah, it's basically, to them, it seems like honestly a free map. Not to really talk bad about Meat Makers guys. Obviously, there is a chance for them to pull it back here, but when Epsilon are picking up kills like that with Shocks, I mean, he's currently 4-2. You know, you had Marsu, who was, I think, 13-2 at the end of his first game. Unfortunately, did just die again and took his kills over, but they're just, it's just a turkey shoot for him. It's just like, you know what, we can pick up another 20 kills and still win. We don't really need those flags necessarily.
Yeah, and you can just see Epsilon playing very aggressive here, and they're pretty comfortable with it. MYM here, they have to do something good. They've got building control. They're going to get this B flag. But it all comes down to the 1v1s, and they're losing them. And Epsilon are picking up the flags. They need to just keep that bleed continuing. And MYM are kind of clutching the straws here, I feel.
Yeah, we're just going to see what's going to happen off of this one. C will be capped over by Meat Makers. And Flax and Marsu going to be in a little bit of a 1v1 here, even though Flax doesn't really know about it. We'll get taken down by Marsu. C will be capped over. But now B, I mean, it's all in the hands of Epsilon here. The only man defending against us is Duckinator. We'll be able to nade into Marsu. We'll get the kill onto him as well. But they know he's there. They know he's spotted out now. And it's going to have to him to box this B push, and I don't know if he can be able to do it here. Does a safe, though, as you can see on the screen, coming off the backside. They will pick up the kills at B, and they will maintain control of it here for a little bit longer. And even Punchro going in on the backside here from A. He's looking to contest it, maybe take that one over here. And right now, this is looking good for Mutual Makers, but we have to keep in mind, they only have about 20 tickets left to go. Not even 20, like about 15.
Yeah, right now they need to do something crazy, and it can happen. You can kind of, where the spawns are right now for Epsilon, if you can contain your opponent up there, then that's what you need. But as soon as Flax goes down, that opens up the building, and more importantly, opens up the B flag. So right now, this is pretty good for Epsilon, and MYM are going to have to scramble to defend this B flag.
And they definitely need to hold on to it as well. I mean, they are down already very, very low on tickets. Almost 13 left to go here. And they will cross that threshold, and then they will be in trouble. But right now, they're giving it their all. They're trying to do something here. And I have to say, they're holding on pretty admirably at the moment. But they need a lot more kills. They need a lot more here. And honestly, I just don't think they can. I just don't think there's a way they're going to pull this one off.
No, it's going to be very, very difficult for them right now. But they can hold this. They just need to get 1 or 2 good wipes and they can bring this game back. It's just if they got to keep themselves in the game, keep the calls coming, and keep the rotations good. I mean, you can see up there, Puncher is going for that C flag, and it's all about B. If they can just hold it a little longer.
I mean, the thing is, Mutual Makers were starting to, in that map, finally win the, 1v1s, the 1v2s maybe, and they were starting to really fight back, but I think it's just a little bit too late. I think maybe it's them. Just, let's warm up. Let's forget about that first half. Just warm up in the second one. Go on the Zavod where we're pretty strong and, maybe secure that one and take it to a mount number 3. But right now, only a couple more tickets to go here before they do cross that threshold. Just a couple of kills. That's all it really takes. A couple of kills without those revives. And it should be Epsilon taking this first one here as David picking up one. Looking for the second one. And he will get taken down by 3-man crossfire right there. But that means they're going to hold B. They're going to hold A. And now Asterix and Shock's holding this nice line right now. All they need to do is maintain that here for a couple more seconds. And that'll be it.
Yeah, it's all about that first round, really. It was just quite a dominant one for Epsilon, and MYM were really just kind of shut out, and it all came down to the trip caps that came in. Epsilon got them, and it hurt.
Yep, and that will be the first stop going to Epsilon here, so congratulations yet again to them for that first one, and looking to take it into the second map and maybe go for that 2-0 map sweep here, but Dogbert, right now, talk to me about Dignitas. Talk to me really quickly about them and how they are rebuilding, because it's not just special to them. It's special to a lot of teams. There's a lot of roster changes that came in across the board.
Yeah, well, I'll jump into the roster changes for a few teams here. So Epsilon obviously have picked up Marsu and Asterix from UMAV. UMAV as a team and organization is pretty much gone now. So those 2 players are going to pretty much be stuck with Epsilon now for the long haul, I would think. MYM, no changes at all. Fnatic just announced today what a lot of us have been expecting, which is Drunks, who used to play for UMAV, is now joining Fnatic. He's replacing Winghaven.
I like how he announced it today after it was already obvious, considering he played with them yesterday.
Well, he's played with them several times. So has Marsu and so has Jera at some point. So they were kind of trialing a few players. Also, C-Play, I think, have also picked up 2 players. I think they've got... I
think they got
Delarco, and they have one other. I forgot his name. He'll be very angry at me for it. Dignitas have picked up Frantic and Sneaky from... Basically, everyone from UMAV has found a home in a new team. That's how good they all were. And yeah, so Dignitas picking up 2 people who do not speak Finnish. So they have some weird kind of hybrid language that they have to use in game.
Hybrid language.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a mix between Finnish and English. So I don't really know how it works. I try to listen to them. Finglish. Yeah, yes. I think that's about it. It kind of works okay. But yeah, there are a few differences, a few changes. And I think a lot of the teams aren't so worried about the first few cups. I think that, especially after it worked like last season, it's all about getting enough points to just get to the group stages, and then that's where it gets worrying.
Yeah,
that's whenever it steps up.
Very true. And we did see a lot of teams actually last season alone that didn't do well in the entirety of the entire cups, as in like they weren't even top 4 finish, they weren't even top 10. Like for instance, was it Paragen? I believe it was, who came out of nowhere in groups, placed first, beat against Authority, I think it was, and then pretty much secured their spot into the offline finals, and it really surprised quite a few people, but looks like we will be getting back in the game here in just a second. I had to fix a couple of the graphics in that one. Hopefully everything is sorted. And obviously in chat, let us know, please, how the audio levels are. I can't really tell how loud Dogbert is compared to, well, everything right now. So hopefully it's sorted pretty well here. But let me go and tell again that I am ready to start this one up here.
I was quickly reading in chat. Apparently, my volume is okay.
Okay, great, great. Because you sound really quiet to me. But
Want me to shout?
I mean, it's nice not having to hear your voice. So.
Oh man.
What's
love.
wrong? What's wrong?
No, it's all right. It's okay.
It's tough love. You know that. Come on, I give you the nice adjectives when I introduce you, and then I just beat you down the rest of the show.
You wear me down. I'll give you that. You wear me down.
That sounds so wrong, or could be taken so wrong. All right, so it looks like we will be getting underway here on the Zavod. We have Epsilon over on the Russian side. That's not correct in my graphic, though. Now it is. And then we're going to have Meechmakers over on the US side. So here, on Zavod, between these two teams, which one are you favoring here? Because Paracel Storm was one-sided, but I'm assuming, and I want to hope, that Meechmakers have something different planned this time.
Yeah, they have picked this map. They must feel slightly confident in it. But the thing is, everyone's played this map to death. They know this map so well. I really feel that with momentum from the last round, maybe Epsilon are going to carry it here. I feel they're a bit more warmed up and been practicing a lot harder recently. I feel that MYM have kind of let themselves go a little bit, you know, have a bit of a break since the final and the amount of practice they put in there. So we'll wait and see, but I think Epsilon are really hungry, and I think they're not the only one. I think Epsilon and Fnatic are really, really hungry in these tournaments right now.
Yeah, I think Fnatic was not really happy with how they placed, let's just say that, last season, as well as Dignitas have to stay on top of it. I think they were looking to get a little bit farther here, but we do have this map already kicking off. We do have over on the US side able to cap B, able to cap C here, and Meechmakers able to win these, well, most of the 1v1 fights right now. As we do have David working around towards C. He's looking to get inside of this room here, and it seems to have spotted out Safe. Will not pick up the kill, though. Safe will be able to pick that one up here. And right now, Meechmakers are single-handedly winning these fights. And you look at Epsilon's side, they're majority of them dead most of the time.
Yeah, a really strong start from them. That is a double kill coming in from Duckanator. Absolute beast of a player sometimes. He just gets kills across the board. Punchel and Duckanator have always been the guys up front for MYM that just make plays happen and make teams hurt. And they've really blunted everything of Epsilon's attack there. And now they're stuck here, pushing for C slowly.
Slowly indeed, but they are going to swing around David, going to come on from outside, going to spot one man out. Will be able to pick up the kill on a save, and a little bit of shut that down. They will get full control of C here very quickly, I want to say, as they do lose two men in the midst of all that, but they will maintain it here. A being capped over, but look at that. Immediately, Horik and Shocks both rotate towards the backside here to defend against us. There's actually a respawn in on A here, and we will have Horik pick up one kill, but there's going to be at least one more man there. And looking to finally get a 2-cap right now as he does pick up the kill to Punchel, and that should be 8 back in their hands here as they do pick up the final kill. And now they're going to they push straight out to B here, and Meechmakers are pushing on to C already. This is, I don't know, this seems like Meechmakers have gotten control just from that initial, fighting that we saw break out from that initial 2-cap, and it's forced, Epsilon to play reactive.
They just got sat on there. All of our players just died. That was a complete wipe from MYM. Interesting play. Duckanator was slowly pushing the C flag. Marsu came back to defend it, and then he jumped off the top into the mechanical pit and basically sat on Marsu's face. And Marsu just shot him right in the bum, and that was that flag in the defense for Epsilon. Nasty.
So many things I could say about that. That would be completely wrong, but
I couldn't help myself. But it's exactly what happened. That happened.
What?
That is exactly how it happened. That is my play-by-play about fight.
Well, my imagination takes it into different directions here, but right now, Horik going to be maintaining A here, and Horik was always the man, to me, that would always roam around by himself, pick up kills. Like, he was always the guy that was off by himself doing the Delargo row, quote unquote, which you heard me say how many damn times at the offline finals. But he's not doing it. They changed up their entire game style here, and I'm honestly not a huge fan of it. David, though, has stepped up quite a bit. Though I have to say Marsu's doing a little bit better of it if, taking over that Mayak role, the real fragger for the team here. And right now, Meechmakers off to a strong start. Do have about a 23 ticket advantage right now, but we'll find out how long that will last.
Yeah, and MYM here seem quite happy we're going for this BA quite a lot, but they need to probably break C for a bit, get a bit more of a ticket lead in the bag, and then then they can sit back for that AB kind of hold. But right now they need that C, and that's what they're going for. There's a trade there. So Marsu goes down. David 2K is the only man far forward. I'm looking for a 2-man spawn on him at C.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen as well. You see him playing it very safe. Not actually capping over the flag just yet, waiting for the vendor respawn. Does peek out, does get no kills, but he does get the respawn in for Marsu. We'll see if that's going to be enough here. Horik rushing straight down towards the lower side. And Marsu has survived initial trade as well. Both of them healing up. C is being captured over here. And there's 2 men over towards the top side. I like how Michi Makers, though, as you see Rafi being the tank, beep on the tank. And we'll be, can get out of it, pushed in here slowly, waiting for some reinforcements to come in. And I have to say, that's a little bit of a more of a mature Michi Makers team that we didn't really see last season.
Well, I disagree with that. I think MYM are quite slow in their pushes. I think the other team that is like that is Fnatic. They really rely on kind of patience to get their flag sometimes, and don't just rush in and try and get the kills like, say, UMAV, AAA or so on. And I think that works out better for them in the long haul, and I think that's what was key for their success. They didn't just rely on the momentum of the kills swinging their way. But MYM, solid there. Waffy getting some critical kills, and now he's running a 9 for 5 there. Obviously the best UK player at the moment. But there you go, C and A. I had to, I couldn't help myself. But it's working really well for them, and I think that's the key for MYM, is they're just consistent. It might not always work, and they might not come away with big scores, but it just helps them getting, the teamwork better, and not relying on just being pumped up at the right time.
Right now, Michi Makers have been able to come back from that initial blunder of map number 1, being down the 75 tickets, and currently have been able to build up a 40 ticket advantage right now. But I honestly don't know how long it's going to last, because within this whole situation of Battlefield 4, it can always be changed around very quickly. And with these kills, these critical kills coming from Epsilon here, imagine they're finally able to push towards B and C, as they do have 2 men switching off, going over towards A, and there's 1 man safe going over towards B by himself.
Yeah, that David2K there, he's an important player. If he gets caught out here, and he does, it's just Duke PT by himself, and there Asterix is kind of hanging about as well. Realizes his teammates have been killed, has to play a little smarter now, and there you go. They're going to lose that A flag, and there you go, B and C, and this is the hold MYM1. If they can keep this hold at C a bit longer, this is going to be the first round going over them quite decisively.
We do have Ashes get picked up as well right there finally here, so they are going to be able to maintain control of that. And I'd be surprised actually to see about a 80-ticket lead come into this second half for Michi Makers with the way they've been able to play right now. But almost a full squad wide coming in. They're going to get control of C here. They're going to push for B as well at the same time. Like, this is what I don't agree with. Applying, I can understand applying pressure across the map, but they have no one back towards A. The respawns will be coming in back there, as we do have 2 men respawning from Michi Makers over towards B. And right now, if Epsilon can pick up these kills and win these trades, I would imagine they're actually going to claw away at that huge lead that Michi Makers do have right now. So Horik going to push on the side, going to spot out 1 man. Well, unfortunately, he won't take down Wafi. He will get killed. And Ashley's going to be able to pick one up over towards the A side here. So B is still being contested. We'll go over to Michi Makers, and C being contested / over in the hands of Epsilon right now.
Yeah, and it all came down to the fact that it was risky. If MYM had lost the fight at B, they would have been relegated to the faraway spawns over at A, and that's what they didn't want. And that is what Epsilon were trying to push. It didn't work out for them. And this is what I was saying. After holding C like that, now they're just going for B and A, waiting until Epsilon try and push out, and then they're just going to try and take C. And they're not going to take it with a mass assault. They'll take it with 1 player. And now they're just going to stick with this B and A hold for the rest of the game.
And now we're going to be tagging along with Marsu here as he does push in towards this B flag. Has it already neutralized? Just got 1 man out behind the tanks. Another man right in front of him who will be taken down, though, eventually, before he can pick up any kills here. But the other man, David, off to the side. He's always the kill hunter for the team back towards the later ends of the first season right now, and actually will be spotted out. Won't pick up the kill in the punch. And now he's just trying to kite around, stay alive here. But they do have control of A. They do have control of C. And those 2 men did pull, I guess, 3 in general towards that B flag. So they do win out on a majority of that here. They started to claw back a little bit of a lead. But still, 90 tickets to 35 is very one-sided here. Yeah, but both sides doing well on their respective maps. And that's something we didn't see a lot of in LAN Final, but definitely something that's going to happen on lineup here. I think teams are just far more prepared for it. All right, well, right now we do have A being capped over for the side of Epsilon here. C being capped over as well. Michi Makers always seem to be 1 step ahead of Epsilon at this point. And, Shocks will be coming from the side. He does know it is being capped. We do think about it at the beginning, but he will get taken down before even picking up any of the kills here. And again, Michi Makers able to hold onto that push. You can look at the kills: 13-9 for Flax, 12-8 for Wafi. Everyone else is, well, not over 10 kills just yet here. But on the side of Epsilon, only 1 man has really stepped up, and that's Shocks here. And it's only 13-11, so it's not like it's a huge kill-death ratio for him.
Yeah, Duke PT always comes in big online. It's just one of those players that just performs consistently. And this is really Epsilon's last chance here. 20 tickets remaining. They need to break in C or B very quickly. And if MYM can just hold this, they will win this round with quite a significant ticket lead.
And that is definitely something that they are probably looking forward to, considering, well, that first map that they're probably quickly trying to forget here. But 15 seconds left to go on the side of Epsilon. Tagging along with Asterix as he's trying to maybe make a little bit of a push in towards the C flag, but I think right now they realize, guys, we're not going to win this first half. We need to at least cut this lead right now that Meech Makers do have, and they have, you know, gotten a 2-cap back here with that B cap back on the, well, that B cap back onto their side is now David. Pushing through the tanks, looking to left a little bit longer, but it will be taken down, and that's most likely has to be it. There's not many respawns that can come back in for the side of Epsilon.
No, but if they can just get a few more, no, that'll be it. Unless they can get a big spawn over here at B with Horik, but I can't see it because every spawn they bring in is just going to bring them closer and closer, and I think that's going to be it. I think MYM are even holding their spawns to make sure they get the maximum amount of things at 72 tickets. Wow, reverse of last round.
Yeah, didn't really expect it to go like that, to be honest. You know, considering how the first map went, but fantastic job by them to. How dare you? I see you typing in chat. Why do you have a D in front of your name and then Dignitas?
Oh, it's the way that the new platoon system works. It wasn't my fault.
I think it's your fault.
Oh, you're so nasty.
You know, today hasn't been a great day for me, as you've heard me talking before we started. So I need to vent it somewhere, and I don't have any food here to eat, so I don't have my American way of taking it out on myself. But I don't know. Unfortunately, it's a pretty decent game so far here, as we're going to be kicking off the second half on Zavod and Epsilon. Well, this is what we got to look at. The way the game started, do you think that determined how it ended for Meech Makers, considering they had a great start with that 2-1 hold? Or do you think it's just something that they were able to do throughout the entire map?
I think any momentum that Epsilon had pretty much brought from the previous map just got absolutely shut down within the space of 2 minutes. That was kind of a brutal opening. They really did hammer Epsilon quite badly. Every time they pushed the flag and poked their head out round corners, MYM were waiting and really just made them pay for every mistake. And from then on out, Epsilon tried their best. They kind of leveled it out a little, but the lead was too significant, and MYM just kept it like that for the rest of the game. I mean, 72 tickets is, you know, like we were saying it before, it gives you such a bumper and such a buffer zone for your next round. It makes it very, very difficult to come back from that.
It makes it borderline impossible, I want to say, unless you're like Dignitas, who can be at 3 tickets and down 100 tickets and pull it back to 3 to 12, like we've seen happen before. Dawnbreaker, man, they have some weird games with Dawnbreaker for Dignitas, or at least they did here. But we'll be kicking off for the second half. Meech Maker is going to be on the Russian side, and of course, Epsilon going to be over on the US side. And Dawnbreaker, quick, who should we tag along with? Give me a name.
I'll give you a name. It's going to be Safe, right in the middle of the map with a rocket launcher.
All right, let's tag along with him. He does have that rocket launcher out. Gonna shoot the wall out and rotate over towards this B side for a little bit here. Actually spot out one man. Won't get the spot, actually, I believe, but we'll actually just notice him out there as he does get taken down by Puncher, I believe, and he will go down to a nade. So that following of Safe didn't really work out too well, Dawnbreaker.
I had to pick quickly.
You did. Yeah, there was no stall in you, so I will give you credit for that. Well, I'll give you another chance here in a few minutes. But right now, we do have C capped over for the side of Epsilon, and A being kept as well. Look at the respawns coming from Meech Makers. There's all 5 men towards this A flag here, and Horik, I don't think he knows about this, but he's in between a hard place, a rock, and an even harder place.
Yeah, but
oh my god, those physics are awesome.
You get him every time. They take you up any cast you see because they just fly up in the air.
I think didn't they catch up really bad in the finals when we were casting those? Just seeing them flop around.
You can't help it. They get stuck in walls sometimes. It's just hilarious.
It makes me very giggly.
But first stop for Epsilon, it was brilliant. They got the B flag. They killed 3 there. They also wiped at A, so they got a trip cap straight off the bat. And Epsilon kind of now forced around A. You can see Horik here. That harassing is keeping 2 members of MYM back at A. It's really stalling any push forward here.
Yes, it has. And B going to be set on by Asterix here, as we do have Shocks and Marsu sitting up towards the C flag here. And And we'll do the respawns coming in as well. Duke and Shots looking for that first kill. We'll get taken down though, and that will be a 3-man. Sorry, physics. A 3-man push onto the C flag, and we will have Epsilon actually hold on to it here for a little bit as David does get the respawn, or at least the revive. But I don't think it's going to be enough here. It should be over the hands of Meteor Makers, and even B's being capped over. They're going to get a full domination cap, and Horik is the last man standing.
Yeah, but Horik's in a good position. That's the good thing about that. They didn't get completely wiped. Look at that, man. 2 kills straight off the bat. That's the C flag for Epsilon. And that is just really smart play. And that's why Horik is such a key player for Epsilon. He gets himself in positions, doesn't just rush in to join the fight but was already lost. He waits it out, waits for respawns, gets a pick, and get a flag.
Yeah, we're seeing and what was with his gun right there? Sorry, that was, wow. Okay, that, you know, the normal things catch me off, but that one really got me because his gun, I don't even know how to describe that. People in chat will probably comment on it, but yeah, I really like the maturity that we're seeing. The teams finally come into play. You know, not jumping anything too early. Like I was saying before, you know, about Meteor Makers, just the fact to realize, hey, I can't take this 1v2. I'm gonna wait for some respawns to come in because they're, you know, 2 seconds away, and then go for the push and capitalize off it. And, you know, they'll give away a couple of tickets, but in the end, they'll make back so much more than that than they could have if he did go down in the beginning of the fight here. So I really like seeing that little bit of adaptation come into light here from a lot of these teams, as Asterix is going to be working towards middle. Rafi will spawn out for the backside and pick up the kill here. And right now, Epsilon, remember, 72 tickets is that threshold. And right now, they're holding strong because they have almost a 40-ticket lead here.
They do indeed, and you can see MYM are aware of it. They're trying to get as many revives as they can here, and I think they're going to start switching up their plans here to for just a more of a B and A kind of push, because they're getting wiped at C quite regularly here. So I think that's going to be a change in tactics coming in for MYM. You kind of see that in their spread right now.
Now MYM, at least Flax, trying to hold on to this push on A. David going to be in a 1-on-2 situation right now. Just trying to heal up as well. Got a couple of nades here or there. Actually, I think he naded himself a little bit at the end right there. But we'll be taken down. In the meantime, we're seeing Epsilon, unfortunately, not really have a reaction to this. But what they're doing right now is, you know, Marsu and Shox, Duke, just staying inside of C, waiting for those respawns to come in, and aren't trying to rotate around just yet. They're waiting for some backup because they realize, you know, we don't have a lot of tickets to work with here. We could just take a 2-0 sweep here if we pull this one off correctly. Yeah,
they need to play a bit smart here. They're trying it. They're going for that B flag as best they can. And if they can get the kills here, they'll get it. But look at that. MYM are surrounding the sole attacker of Asterix here. And there you go, wiped out. Interesting weapon choices here. Punchroll taking the AEK, and then everyone else running pretty much separate weapons in the Ace 23, which is to be expected. But everyone on Epsilon is just taking the Ace 23. So some people like to experiment, and some people like to just stick to the old trustworthy Ace 23.
We saw an AEK actually. I think it was on the side of Meteor Makers in the
first
half.
Yeah, got it all. Yeah, they had the M16 and on Storm, and they have the AEK, and it's only MYM that's trying different weapons here.
Yeah, I remember hearing actually Pansy talk about the FAMAS history a little bit, and also asking in chat what people really liked here. And I don't know, one thing I liked about the Scar, it's a shame that, you know, I personally think it's a shame that it's actually banned out, is that it gave it helped the style of the gun, or actually the gun alone, really worked well with certain styles of play. Like a Scar was kind of like the sit back and watch crosses, you know, watch long range plays, and then pick them off there. You know, there wasn't like a fast, you know, rate of fire kind of gun like the Ace 23 for pushing in, for being like more of a true assault class.
Yeah, but the back end was so good all round. More importantly, the hip fire on it was so brutally powerful. It really... It brought in a lot of things that I think the competitive side of the community really just didn't like. But yeah, I get what you mean. I would still like it used sometimes.
All right, well, right now, 104 to 52 ticket lead currently in favor of Epsilon. And we do see Shox. I don't know why he changed his name to Shox. Duke was so much better. Duke sounded way more manly. Shox is trying too hard to be like Shox from Titan for CSGO. But anyway, sorry, that's just me rambling off on a rant. Our intention, he's actually attacking A here. He will drop eventually. But look at that lead, 60 tickets right now. And they are honestly like borderline close to be able to pull us some back here. We do have Horik, or actually, sorry, he's going to be the big man to watch here. He's coming in from the backside on the C. He's looking for a couple of kills here. And wait for maybe a couple of respawns. He will come in down the stairs. He will spot the first man out. He will pick up the kill just set, but he eventually just called that one back. And he gets respawns in as well. They're going to hold on to C here after losing it for a split second. And they're going to maintain this ticket bleed now.
Yeah, MYM need to do something really quick here. They're getting shut down too much. We haven't really been mentioning it probably too much, but like seriously, this is a big comeback for them.
This is
They
huge.
they're holding tight on this scene B flag, and they're doing it all the time, and nothing MYM can do right now.
Yeah, there really isn't much. As you can see, 29 tickets left to go here. And Epsilon, they just seem to be controlling the pace, but we do have 3 men dropping. And now David going for a push on A here. So we got another 2-to-1 cap back in favor of Meachmakers for a split second or two here. And David will get maybe a couple of respawns. No, actually won't get any respawns at top one because they're going to go for a push on a C here. They're going to maintain it, as you do see. I believe that was, who was it? It was Mars who picked up the big kills. And he's got one more man to hold off to as well here. As they do, they're going to push on A here. They're going to maintain this 2-to-1 hold, but it's all in the hands of Marsu. Can he defend against this push? If he can, this will be huge. He does see Sage just top side, but he will be taken down. And that is unfortunate because that means C will be taken back on the side. Meachmakers here, even Asterix giving it a go. Does pick up one, looking for the second one. He will pick it up with the help of his team. As he shocks up the side, but it actually nade out on the Waffy. Won't get the kill, but it will stall him for a little bit here. And they committed so many resources, but they're not even done just yet. As now Horrick back alive, going for the re-push back onto it here. And this seems really sloppy played of Epsilon. It seems like they're rushing for something because they're down to 80 tickets now.
Yeah, this is a really, really close game, boys. It's basically, they got to get this bleed off their back right now. If they don't capture B or C, this is going to be it for them. They got to be very, very careful. And I kind of think Epsilon are already giving up here, not even trying to play out to the end. And there you go. MYM are going to drag it to a third map.
Yeah, a valiant effort by them, but unfortunately, it just wasn't enough in the end. And, you know, they had a strong start. If you see, you know, it was, I think it was like a 90 to about 30 tickets, and unfortunately just that one little fight, that one little duel that they lost was enough to turn it back in the hands of Meachmakers. So map number 3 we're going to be going to will be Operation Locker here. And I don't know, we've seen a lot of interesting, you know, 3 mappers already come into play throughout this first cup here. A lot of teams are really close in skill.
Yeah, there's been a lot of catching up in the since the last group stages. I think that's where everything really got serious for a lot of these teams. You know, all the trial and error beforehand. They learned from their mistakes. Then the group stages turned up for the qualifiers for the offline final, and that's where everyone stepped it up, and it went crazy. The teams that qualified obviously had a few roster changes, and then obviously the experience they picked up from LAN, and obviously they've had a bit of more time to reflect on it and look over strategies from the other teams, from the VODs, which are on the ESL YouTube. And seriously, teams are going through that like quite regularly to check what they did and didn't do right and what other teams do correctly. And I think you're starting to see all the teams kind of learning from the past, and it's showing in very close results for all teams these days.
Yeah, very true. And right now, coming to Operation Locker, I don't really know which team is favors in my mind. I feel like if Epsilon has a slight lead in my head to have an advantage on this map compared to Meachmakers for some reason. I'm not even sure why I'm thinking that, but that's what I'm currently seeing. I feel like Epsilon are better aimers, you know, in a 1v1 sense. You know, unfortunately, that first half on Zavod proved that a little bit wrong, but every other map besides then, or every other half besides then, has been in Epsilon's favor in terms of just pure aim.
I will say this about Epsilon. I feel for online, they're a much stronger team. I don't know why. I don't want to go into any particular conspiracy theories, but they just seem to have their head around it. And MYM are a very solid team, and they've had some really good successes on Locker recently. I mean, they have won games against UMAV and Fnatic, I believe, with like just a few tickets, like 3 or 4 tickets. Nothing much, but they've always been able to drag it down and drag teams into deep water and finish them off there. But Epsilon are just really, really hungry right now, and I think this is a map that they would have been practicing probably far more than most, because they know they got to play against teams like Fnatic on it.
I will have to say this, Dogbert, if you could stop saying they're really hungry right now, that'd be great, because I haven't actually eaten today, so...
I've got a chocolate croissant like right next to me in honor of drunks joining Fnatic. So
that's a good thing that I hate croissants then.
Oh, really? It's got chocolate in it as well.
I hate chocolate, actually.
You hate chocolate?
Yeah, I
really
really do hate chocolate. What is that supposed to mean?
I thought Americans love chocolate.
So, do you love tea?
No.
Well, you're English.
All right, I see. So racial stereotypings don't really work with foods and drinks. I get it.
Most of the time. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah, all I have is pretzels next to me, and yeah, those don't really work. And I was going to get a burrito on my way to work today, but I realized I was going to be late. And then now I regret being on time, because burritos are actually pretty good. But anyways, I guess we can stick to topic here for just a second. But we're going to have Epsilon. I was going to say what side they're going to be on here, but we saw a lot of actual, a couple of good games actually on Operation Locker yesterday when Pansy was casting. I believe it was Infused versus Pyrogen, I want to say. Obviously could be wrong. I wasn't fully paying attention. I might have been playing the game at the same time.
Versus Infused, I believe. I think it was that third
Could
map.
have been that one.
Yeah, I think that was the only one. Like, I think that's the only one Infused got through. I think that's their first game was against C players. So, yeah, I think it went right down to the wire, I believe. But like yourself, I was playing Battlefield 4 when it was going on, so I didn't see too much what happened.
Yeah, that's what I was playing at the time. Yes, exactly.
Yes, definitely.
Battlefield 4, definitely. Well,
Nice.
looks like we're just waiting for... Oh, wait, maybe I should just say I'm live. Oh, I'm ready. Yeah, he did ask me. I didn't see that. I'm not used to having chat and spectator client anymore.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
That reminds me, isn't there supposed to be a delay on the stream?
Well, I can't really check from my side.
I feel like it wouldn't matter, though, because...
The game's too quick for anyone.
Yeah, everything happens too fast to really be able to use that effectively. But I don't know, I'll ask one of the admins in a break we'll have coming up here after this game. But looks like we will get the restart in. And I'm assuming we're having Epsilon start over on the red side here.
Or is it restarts?
I'm going to hit the button, just assuming that it is. If it isn't, Dogbert, you have to order me some food.
Order you some food?
Yeah, order me some food.
No problem.
As in for, like, tonight.
Yeah, sorted.
Okay.
I got Panky to carry it. Don't worry.
All right, they're on the red side. They're on the Russian team. So, I'd like a pizza.
Pizza?
Pizza salami with pineapples. That'd be great.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm
good
really
at carrying
expecting
pizzas after IEM, so yeah, I can do that.
No, I mean like right now.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm really expecting it. I'm serious. I really expect a pizza to be here now. Like, you know the address.
Yeah, I think. I'll get it sorted. I'll call pizza, and it'll be there in no time. Don't worry.
I can't tell if you're telling the truth right now.
Nah, I'm lying. I'm not sending you pizza.
Damn it. All right, so third map of the night kicking off here between Meat Makers and Epsilon. We're going to have Epsilon over on the Russian side, and Meat Makers over on the much better than England US side here. We're having Meat Makers go for a rush very quickly into middle field right now. And it looks like they're trying to contest C a little bit here on the hands of Waffy.
Yeah, interesting start for both teams. Epsilon kind of bucking the trend here, sending 3 up to C. This is kind of old strategy for Locker. It doesn't seem to be paying off for them. Both David 2K and Asterix go down. Horik playing smart though, waiting for some respawns. And you can just see a great start for MYM. They've got everything they needed here, but they must be worried about a spawn coming out B. But man, this is looking good. Punchroll picking off Horik there. And this is really slowing down a push from Epsilon.
I didn't see where his body went when he got exploded on by that grenade, but it went somewhere here. And yeah, fantastic start by Matrix. They haven't lost a single ticket just yet, as Punch will respawn in and will unfortunately take their first one away here. But BC hold, it's proven to be very strong. And if you look at Epsilon, this is what's weird to me. Most teams focus on a push into B, but they're focusing on a push into C.
Yeah, and
That's a little weird.
Worked out for a while, but I mean, you got to try something. Can't keep with the same strategies forever because Epsilon and other teams will just read into it. I think both of them kind of went for a bluff there, and it kind of went out MYM's favor. But Asterix snuck around C, got it, and took the flag, and now it's all changed again. But there you go. Safe taking A, and he gets taken out. Oh man, this game's so quick. Epsilon are already back into that A flag, and MYM. Punchroll is the only remaining guy far forward. He needs to stay alive to be a spawn beacon for the rest of the team here.
Let's see if he can be that. He's actually being shot up from the side down to like 15 HP. I'll get a respawn on top of him. And now he's got to be able to hold on to... I just realized I'm touching this pen where Lauren had it in her mouth, and that's just really gross. Sorry, my mind's a little bit weird today. I realized she was using my pen the other day, or yesterday, and I got really mad at her, but she didn't care. So Shock's picking up a kill on a safe, and we will have a 4-2 kill score for David 2K. And, well, 3-2 for Punch right now, as we do see him get naded in the face right there. Now he's the last man yet again. He seems to always be that, as it will be a full squad wipe safe. Now we'll get the respawn in, but look where he is. He's in the back of B. Not the best position to be in right now. And look at Duke, or Shocks. He's in a perfect position to cause a lot of trouble right now. He will get the first kill on the duck in air. Eventually he will fall down for his troubles here. But look at how, Epsilon are holding. I really like the position. They have 1 man watching from jail, 1 man watching the cross from outside, and 2 men in towards the center of the actual flag here, as David does pick a nice kill onto the jail side.
Yeah, David really solid in that role of a connector around to A in middle tunnel. And with that position, really does just... Oh, look at that sandwich there from Epsilon coming in from both sides and just finishing off MYM. MYM are getting stopped every time they push a flag here.
And right now, they have been able to build up a little bit of a lead. 23, 24 tickets. Not the greatest of leads so far. But the fact is, they're maintaining this hold here for a very long time. There's actually be a 2-1-3 fight towards the outside. Astrix does pick up a first kill, as Shocks will get taken down and will get revived up here in just a few seconds. And they will both be able to back away, both be able to hold on to this push onto C here. And they actually will get the full squad wipe because they had David actually rotate in from middle.
Yeah, Waffy broke through here, so here's a chance for MYM to finally break into A. But they're throwing so many people into this flag, and they still can't get it. There's one up still, and they need to finish this one off quickly. It's just David 2K by himself. While this is going on, though, you can see Asterix trying to bring in reinforcements along with Shocks. And if these guys can get in there quick enough, then this A capture will be for nothing, as they will lose B.
Yeah, it will, and it's going to be all in the hands of Waffy if he can hold on to this one man that's pushing into him. Don't actually think you can see him on his screen just yet, as he does see Marcy down right under him. We'll throw the nade in. Won't actually connect, unfortunately. That second one should do the job. No, it actually doesn't. Doesn't some respawns in. Marcy's still staying alive here. Has not been taken down still, even after all this time. And that allows Ursa's team to rotate in. He ran a perfect distraction, and they will get control of B here. Now look where Horik is. He's on a complete flank onto the backside right now of A. And there is one man, Punctual, to push into B here. And it looks like he's actually going to skip that one and go straight towards A, realizing that's probably in trouble.
Yeah, look at those spawns though. Dead on money for MYM. Spawning right in to counter this push. And they've already taken 2 down, David 2K and Horik. But more spawns are coming in here. And this is really looking good for MYM now. Finally getting some sort of control on this map. But it could all go wrong if they lose A. They need to keep this flag as long as possible.
I bet you Horik is real tired of those grenades coming in at him right now, as he got about 3 or 4 to the face. Epsilon will be able to get the respawns in, though. And we'll be able to get the control of A here. But just like you said, Michi Makers, they might not have control of A, but they have control of the pace of this game right now, completely out-rotating Epsilon so far. They do have control of C, they do have control of B here. And now we're going to find out, can Epsilon make a move somewhere to take something back? As it looks like Shock's going to be the first one to try it towards outside. And we'll pick up the kill on Waffy, so that does open up C here.
Yeah, and this is the kind of comebacks MYM have pulled off on Locker a few times. They just seem to do it quite well. They let other teams get ahead, then get cocky, and then somehow fight back. But Epsilon here don't need to panic. They just need to play smart and do what they were doing before, which is getting the smart captures on the C flag.
You know, there's something that people are talking about in chat that really confuses me and really blows my mind sometimes, is why they keep saying, like, why are they all using the same gun? It's like, in Counter-Strike, why do people on the CT side only use the M4? Because it's the best gun for that situation. Like, it's obvious that they're going to use the best guns that they possibly can that work with their style, work with their gameplay, and it's going to be a similar gun across the map. It blows my mind that people keep questioning that and wondering why they're not using different ones. But right now, we do have a potential 3-cap coming in the side of Meteor Makers right now, and they will be able to get it back here. So Epsilon's going to be fighting up a hill right now, and Punctual, he's on top of that hill right currently.
Yeah, and you can just see a slow and measured thing for MYM once again. They're kind of not just rushing about this map. They're taking time, picking their flags, and they've evened out this game once again. I mean, before Epsilon were doing such a good job of just holding that A and C, and now look at it. There's 10 tickets between these teams, so MYM doing a good job, but it all comes down to, you know, how good is MYM on the defensive?
Yeah, that's what's really confusing me right now, is how it just switched so quickly. It's like you had such great control for the first 3 to 4 minutes, and then out of nowhere you completely lose it and you can't get it back. And right now Epsilon, they're fighting for it. They're giving it a good go. They currently did pick up 2 kills in a row over towards, I believe it was C, and they will be able to get that 2-1 hold back for themselves. Ashix will be taken down by Flax there, and now it's about the quick rotates. Can Horik get back towards B quick enough here? Does spot one mount, and actually will get the assist onto Duckinator, and that will maintain this line hold that we currently have built up for Epsilon. But they're not done with that. They're not content with just that yet, as Horik is now pushed in towards A.
Yeah, they need to do something like this just to make sure that they have such a strong lead for the next round. There's Punchrule going down on the A flag, and MYM now in a very precarious position. They know they're probably going to lose this A flag. It doesn't even look like they're going to try and defend it, but they know there's a defender on C as well, so they need to be very careful. Look at the spawner just came in for Horik, right on the B flag. To stop any aggression there, there's going to be a defender in every flag.
Question is, though, can they win the 1v1s or maybe the 1v2s that they need to right now to maintain control of those flags? And right now, well, we have Horik and Shox working towards B here. C will be capped over on the side of Makers in just a second. Shox will pick up the first one, and we'll pick up a second one, I believe, right there. Duck and punch. And that will be B back over to Epsilon here. So looking to come into this with maybe a 50 to 40 ticket advantage.
Yeah, and it all comes down to MYM right now. They really need to just do something remarkable. Or just try to get at least some sort of control just to bring the tickets down a bit more, because we do seem whoever gets the initial 60 tickets or 70 tickets seems to win the map. So MYM must be aware of that, and they need to do something quickly. They need to rush either A or C, and they need to do it soon.
Horik has retreated back to A here to hold on to this push that will inevitably be coming in just a few seconds. And Tagung with Safe here to see what he does decide to do, because he's rotating in between the backside of A here and back in towards middle. He's looking for some sort of opportunity to really push in, and they have to do it soon because they're down to 7 tickets. Like, this is pretty much going to be it. This is going to be about a 65 ticket lead coming in for Epsilon.
Yeah, you can see MYM already scrambling to start and move back to that B defense. You can already see it highlighting it as well. They know it's probably coming in there. They probably think the spawns are coming in there as well. Horik's the only man there. He's going to have Duckinator, Waffy, and Save, and there's the Epsilon spawn. They are going to go for that C flag after they baited the B, but then again, maybe not. They're trying to confuse me, let alone the players, and they're just trying to just get the kills now, rely on just the ticket lead they have, and just wear this game out.
Those physics. Oh, they always crack me up. But Asterix does come from the backside. Will bit of cap C here. And meantime, each makers are going to cap A. So we're going to have a B, C potential hold coming in at Epsilon. And that should be it, because those respawns, no one Meech makers can really afford to come back in here.
Yeah, I think that will be it, but not a bad job for them. They did do quite well, get those tickets off what they were. So it's only 49, but what it could have been a much, much worse situation for them. But yeah, it was only at the beginning MYM really hit a brick wall in Epsilon's defense there. But slowly brought the game back, evened it up, even took the lead, but Epsilon secured it once again, and MYM just kind of fizzled out at the end there.
Yeah, it's one thing that's I've always not really liked about, you know, the game that we're currently playing on, is the fact that if you do get a strong hold like that at the beginning, like they had a very strong hold for the first 3 minutes, it seems like you don't really see the result now. You don't really see it reflected in the score too well, because then it gets closed really quickly, just from all the scrambling that happens right after. I don't know, that's just a personal opinion out of mine here, but right now, Epsilon 49 tickets. That is a lot to work with here on Operation Locker, and if they have a strong start, I would imagine they're going to be able to win this one and advance on into the grand finals.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's 49. Yes, no, not too big a margin. We can see MYM coming back from much worse situations in the past, but you must think Epsilon kind of feel that, right, we had a bad Zavod, but we absolutely smashed them on Paracel Storm, and we started off really strong there. Got a bit sloppy in the middle, but they must feel much better right now.
Yeah, they really have to. It has to be a sigh of relief for them, considering they're probably thinking, you know, Paracel Storm wasn't a fluke. Definitely was not a fluke if we were to pull back this big of a lead as well. So sides will be swapped here, and graphics will be changed around as well. Epsilon over on the US side, much better than British flag, whatever teams. That's why I don't see their flag in this game. Up against the Russian side of Meteor Makers. That was really bad, but worth it.
Yeah, you're losing British fans thick and fast, but
I didn't think I had any.
Probably, yeah. We had me, but now you don't.
Well,
I've
never had you, Dogbert.
Yeah, this is getting creepy.
I can make it worse if you want.
No, it's all right. I'll just start mentioning food. I did manage to get sandwich into the last round. I don't know if you noticed that one.
You did? Oh yeah, I noticed.
So yeah, a different start from both teams here. MYM not even going to bother trying to go for that C flag, and it looks like Epsilon holding a spawn in reserve here, waiting to find out where the pressure's coming, and MYM need to make this aggression work. 2 kills straight off the bat, so this is looking pretty good for them. They're going to get this B flag.
Yes, they will, and it's just the change around in style that we see out of Meech Makers. Going to get A, going to get B, and Epsilon going to send 3 men, it looks like, towards the backside, but we're going to have Waffy coming in. Going to be watching towards jail side. This one, the first one out, won't get the kill. Actually, no, he will get the kill eventually onto Asterix, and that does stop that push coming in out of them through towards A, and a strong start so far by Meech Makers, but as we saw with Epsilon, they had a very strong start, but the lead kind of didn't reflect that. throughout the rest of the game. And look at this, Stuckinator.
Oh
coming
my
out
God.
huge. Was that 3 or 4 kills?
He got free with the aid of Punchal there, who was sneaking up on the side, but they are going to probably lose the A flag unless Safe can do something crazy here. But yeah, man, played like that, and that corner, seriously, just seems to always be either Safe or Duckanet. MYM rule that corner of the map. For some reason, they get mega kills there all the time.
Wow, fantastic job by him, and that might have solidified this control I see here. And I'm even reading chat right now, Too Easy, giving people hope, saying there might be a new game mode in the next season. That guy loves to, it's not April's Fools anymore, Too Easy, so you can't really tease people. But right now, Duckinator, gotta pick up another 2. Look at that.
Yeah, but there's the spawn at B. It's going to be the problem. David 2K. Obviously, all teams are aware that that spawn comes in, but it still catches people off guard. But there you go. Punchal cleans it up, but this is going to be annoying. They don't know it just happened again, so Asterix is sitting there, and they're also pushing it with Shocks at B. So this is going to be really nasty. Oh, brilliant kill by Punchal. This is going to even up this defense, I think. But look at Shocks just waiting for a respawn once again.
This is really getting out of hand right now for the side of Meteor Makers. 7-1 for Punchal currently. Duck even 3-1, and it looks like Shocks will see that one man out, but he won't get the kill. What is happening? They cannot pick up the fights anymore. They are just losing this flat out. And right now, Meteor Makers have to be on riding a huge wave of confidence because they are making some ballsy plays. I mean, they're picking up 1v3s, they're picking up 1v4s potentially, or maybe even 2v4s. And they're showing no signs of stopping right now. They already have a 50-ticket lead built up.
Yeah, and it's honestly, Ducky-chan and Punchal, you put them, they are possibly 2 of the best forward guys in BF4. As a team, they just work so well, and they're doing a great job. Eventually gets taken down on that C flag. This is the chance for Epsilon really to start to chip away at that lead, and that is a big lead right now.
That is a ginormous lead. Remember, 49 tickets is that threshold here. Zusi Flags pick up 1 kill, but immediately gets returned on. And it looks like finally Epsilon will get control of C here, and they will get a 2-1 hold. But honestly, for how long? Because Safe, as well as Punchal, are rotating in towards A here for a little bit, and they're looking to turn this one around. They're looking to finally get the ticket bleed back onto their favor. But you have at least two people inside of A defending it and looking to stop this here.
Yeah, but there's the kill on Asterix. That opens up the C flag, and you can see the rotations. Oh my God, where's David 2K? Right outside the map. He knows he has to get back to that C flag as much as possible, risking the possibility of falling off, and he gets taken out anyway. I think he actually was so far out of the map, he didn't get back in time.
I think so, because I caught the tail end of that, and that was that's gonna go on a highlight
blew
reel
off.
right there.
But yeah, Punchal just by himself now over a B. A gets a kill though, and it just leaves one guy left. That shot, he manages to murder himself, and there you go. That's going to be a trip cap coming in for MYM. They're going to lose the B flag, but man, they get the 2 important, which is the A and the C, and they've got all the positions they want to defend it.
And Meteor Makers 50-ticket lead here. They are just completely walking over Epsilon this time. Punchal currently now 9-2, Duck 8-3. And look over on the side of, Epsilon. Asterix is 0-8. Hork is 0-5. That, well, let's just say you have 16 of your 17 kills on 2 players. That's not a good sign if you're Epsilon.
No, not at all. And honestly, MYM just have that power up front. The rest of the guys can chip in when they need, but it's always Punchal and Duckinator that just beast mode the rest of them. And that's what we're seeing today. But Epsilon keeping their heads about them and their wits, and they're starting to get that C flag, and they have had great success over there. But, oh, that's a great spawn. Asterix spawned right in front of Flax pretty much and just cut them to pieces, and now this might give them a chance to hold this A flag. But look at that spawn over at the right, over at B with Waffy. That's going to open up that flag, and Epsilon here now going to suddenly find themselves having to be on the offensive again.
Seems like they've been like that pretty much the majority of this half right now, as currently it's 109 to 57 tickets. Well, actually, if Meteor Makers drop below 49, then it will be over. Meteor Makers have to get Epsilon down to 0, though, unfortunately, for them to secure themselves a win on map number 3 and take it themselves into the grand finals right now. It's 2-3 push into A here. 2 men for Epsilon trying to hold on to this. Shocks will be the first round Duckinator. We will see Safe respawn with 2 kills himself, as he does get flanked from Horik here. So looks like Epsilon will be able to maintain control of A just for a little bit longer, or will they actually lose it? Because now it's a 2v1. Asterix does have to respawn in. Fox can get some respawns in as well. It's going to be a 2v2 now. And this is fighting for every tooth and nail right now. They want every single ticket they possibly can have, and right now we're going to have Epsilon push in. They're going to pick up the kills. And this should most definitely be A going back in the favor of Epsilon here, as well as potentially B, as Marsu, if he just turns around, he can maybe pick up the kill and stop that.
Yeah, this is very dangerous. Oh, that grenade, managing to even that up here. But yeah, MYM here going to be in an awkward situation. They need to push. They need to get one of these flags, but which one do they want to go for? A is notoriously difficult to break, and C is completely covered inside and out.
It definitely is, and Makers, I mean, they still can lose this. Like, it's at this point in this game, like, yeah, it doesn't look as, you know, very close, but it's really anyone's game at this point because of the ticket lead that Epsilon had in that first half. And right now, Shock's gonna push out. Not actually pick up the kill, unfortunately for him, as he's gonna continue to shove in, continue to look for something here, maybe work towards B just for a little bit here. We might even have, I believe, David respawn on top of him, but he will get taken down. And unfortunately, that will halt the push on a B here. But look at David, look at the respawn he just picked up here.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that because I sensed that one coming in there. But there you go, shut down. It's expected. That's the thing. That spawn is so regular. You know it's going to come if you push so far forward. And I think MYM are going to stick with the C and B hold. They're going to wait it out, wait until there's some pressure somewhere, and then switch it up. But look at Epsilon doing a great job here, using the spawn to their advantage. And they're going to take this B flag quite easily.
They definitely will. And let's see what Army Trigger's going to do off of this. They have flags. Gonna respawn in for Wafi. Flags will get taken down. Nuts on the hands of Wafi to push in for this one. We'll spot them out. We'll get the kill. And that will get the revive on top of that here. So B now, all in the hands of David. If he can pick these kills, he does get number 1. He's not going to get number 2, though. So they spot him out finally. And we'll pick it up, actually, it looks like. So they will be able to hold on to B here. And right now, the tickets are starting to trickle away on the hands of Makers. This is going to pick up a 3rd here. He will lock that one down on a punch roll. And on Makers, every respawn they get is another ticket they're losing, and they can't afford to lose out on many more.
No, not at all. And they managed to get the kill out at C, so that flag's safe, but they're getting contained every time they push B here. And Epsilon is starting to swarm them, and now it's starting to get dangerous. Look at that tickets now. This is pretty much an evened up game, and MYM need to rush and get a flag as soon as possible. And Epsilon just going to keep reinforcing their position here.
And Horik is a killing squad right now by himself. He's basically a Terminator, picking up so many kills when they need it at this point, as he's currently now 5 and 6. I mean, he's now the strongest of games, but he's coming out big when it counts. We'll pick up another kill. We'll finally get killed from the backside here. So Makers is going to get the 2-1 hold here, but who knows for how long, because Epsilon are pushing outside. Duck, can he pick up a couple of kills? He will pick up the first. And that kill right there actually might have been enough to really turn things around. He might have actually just won the game for them.
It's 10 tickets for MYM and 16 for Epsilon. And if Epsilon keep getting shut down like this, they are resorting to having to push B now. And there you go, Save takes down 1. And there you go, David 2K is broke through. And it's a 1-on-1 between him and Wafi. If they don't shut down David quickly, respawns are coming in, and there they are. But oh my god, this is a fight for B. Spawns are in everywhere. Everyone's fighting for this one. And Epsilon might steal this round. Look at that. They've got a complete wipe on MYM.
They definitely do here. And remember 49 is that ticket threshold, and they're looking to reinforce onto C here as respawns coming in from Makers. They're actually going to be at the backside of C. There's already 2 people waiting. Horik, can he come out huge here? If he can pick up these 2 kills, that is definitely going to be it, because there's only 1 more ticket to go. He's going to pick it up. He's going to get for number 2. He's going to get it. And he will get the 3rd one as well. That's going to be it. And out of nowhere, Epsilon at the tail end of that, after being down so many tickets, will pick up the win and will secure themselves a spot into the grand finals. Congratulations to them. Well played overall. And considering they had 3 people with kills, 2 with 8 and 1 with 1, they came back so damn well on that one. That shouldn't have actually been a win for them. That really shouldn't have.
No, but I think MYM really just kind of struggled to break through, and that kind of just happens on this map. And Epsilon just much better on this map, I feel. But MYM just a bit inconsistent on it. I mean, when they were rotating properly, everything was going fine. But it's what went wrong was the push on B. That's where it went bad. They were trying to get through the tunnel at B, and they just got sandwiched from either side and just brutally murdered in that tunnel. And they lost like a good 30 tickets on that.
Yes, they did. And well, unfortunately for Makers, but they did put up a good fight, I have to say. After losing so horribly on Paracel Storm, they definitely clawed their way back into this one. But that means we're going to go to a little bit of a break in the meantime. Just, get some air, get some drinks maybe. I'll see you guys at home to get some food, which I'm going to be very jealous of. But when we come back, we'll have the other semifinal coming your way. It'll be Fnatic up against Pyrogen here in just a few minutes. So guys, don't go anywhere.